How's it, guys? Memo CNS Drywall. Let me turn this around and show you what I'm up to. Okay, so it is a rainy day today. A lot of rain, which is making me kind of lazy. Especially since I'm the only one here today. I gotta finish up stringing. The other day, we're running a little bit late. I didn't get here till a little bit after lunch with the gun, so we weren't able to string everything. All that's left is the little dog, some of the stairs, and garage. But I'm gonna finish that up, and I'd figure I'd shoot a quick video since I get a lot of questions about how to run the gun and what to do. But yeah, so I'm gonna be using the Predator by Columbia. So guys, just came to the local city mill. Had to pick up some hot mud. And look at these crazy guys. Loading up the minivan with drywall. Gee! That's nuts, man. Alright, hey, what's up guys? So, this is where I carry the Dewalt. It's an old Easy Planex sander. Let me open this up. But yeah, I've been getting a lot of questions about the sander, which one I prefer, which sander is the most cost effective, and so on. So I just figured, since we had to use, so the house that you saw me sand, there's no generator on site until spray day. So spray day, the GC finally brought one over. In order to keep the job going, we did everything cordless. Thankfully, we have enough Dewalt batteries to kind of do that. As far as mixing, taping is all automatic tapers, and then hanging was all cordless anyways. But the sanding, we've been using the Festool Planex 2 more than any other sander, mainly because now that the soft pads are available, I feel like it sands just as nice as the Hilti or Merca, but faster since it's more aggressive, and it has way better suction control. So the only setback, I think, is just the flexibility of the head, but the suction on the Festool kind of makes up for it. So that's why we've been using that one more. But that's not to say the Hilti is no good or the Merca's no good. Like, those are still solid choices. We've just been using the Festool. I think the main reason too is because of that light. So that light does help a lot when you're trying to finish nice and minimize hand sanding. But anyways, back to what we're talking about. So with this sander, I sanded out the house. It took me about so I sanded the house all by myself. I want to say it took me about 4 hours to sand everything alone on this house. So everything, like lids, I sanded everything by myself with the exception of the high. I mean, TJ sanded that. You saw it on the video with the pole sander. But yeah, so about 4 hours. If I used the 9 amp hour battery, the flex valve battery, it would have lasted the whole house because I used it upstairs and I maybe went through 1 bar. But the downside to that is that it's like noticeably heavier. So I got tired of lugging it around and I put the power stack. So the power stack on this bad boy, you couldn't even feel it. It felt like super light compared to the flex valve. And the power stack lasts you about half an hour of just use. So I gotta say, this is super good for brush down. So brush down, this is the #1 thing that we use because, you know, we don't worry about the hose. We just go to town and it's cordless and it's way faster than the pole. I want to say at least 5 to 6 times faster than doing a regular pole sander. But for finish, we still use the Festool more, mainly because of the suction and just dust collection. So when we sand with that, we don't even wear a mask. Like, it's not necessary most of the times. With this one, you gotta wear a good mask. So I would recommend a full-blown face mask. Maybe not one with a shield because it gets dusty real quick, but half a face mask with the N99s on them. So that means only 1% of the particulates are going into your lungs, which is better than the disposable, which is N95, so 5%. But yeah, I would wear a good face mask, and it's just sands like money. These are the ones we use. It's a 120, so for texture, super good. The 120 even works on smooth if you kind of get used to it and know what you're doing. So you just got to move fast. But one thing about this is that it can take a beating. Like, I know some guys have had bad experiences with it, but for me, we've had this for about, I want to say maybe 2 years, a little bit over 2 years, and nothing has gone wrong with it. And we've been using it pretty regularly. The only thing that I switched out was the face pad. I changed it out to this. Honestly, it didn't really do much of a big difference, so I don't think it's worth it. And this is less cushioned, it's harder, so I feel like it causes you to have to press a little bit harder on your surface to get into those little highs and low spots on the wall, because there's no fluff for it to work and contour to whatever. You know what I mean? So as soon as I find the old pad, I'll probably change it back. But besides that, this pad has never ran out. The Velcro is still solid. You know, it's just, this thing is super good. Setback with the Festool is the pad. Any pad or pad saver is only going to last you about 5-6 months of heavy use if you're lucky. I had to start putting adhesion on the back of the pad savers just to give it a little bit more, you know, for it to last actually that long. Because if I don't, it'll last me maybe a month and a half before the thing just flies off. The Velcro just wears itself out. I think it's partially because of the movement of the head, since it's a random orbital, not just spinning. So there's way more vibration and stuff for the Velcro to fail. But this is a solid sander. If I only had to choose one sander that, you know, let's say under 500, 600, I think this one's like 4 something. But you would have to take into consideration the batteries. So if you don't have any Dewalt products, any Dewalt batteries, that's going to cost you another pretty penny. But if you do, you know, if you have a lot of Dewalt stuff, then you're set. But this has been solid. Like if so, we do a lot of texture. But if I could only have one sander that was like, you know, economic and like cheap, the cheapest sander, it would have to be this one. So compared to like all the other ones that are out there, so I prefer this one over the Festool Easy Sand, the one we had, the fixed pole one that was about, I think it cost us like $800-900. This one was sanding just as good, but more compact and cordless. All those other sanders, Potter cable, if you're used to that, I think this is a better option. But yeah, so I hope that answered some questions. Probably raised a lot more than answered, but in a nutshell, this is a solid buy. Comes with a warranty. It's cordless. The dust collection is not that great, so you would get this one already thinking you're gonna wear a solid mask and just go to town. So if you're getting it to kind of work in offices where dust is a major issue, this is not your sander. Go with the Plain X2. But if you're working new builds where dust doesn't matter, you just want to kind of get your feet wet into the machine sanding, whatever, this is a solid buy. It's brushless, comes with a warranty. So yeah, and if you've seen the video, yeah, I think it's like 5 times faster, honestly, than a pole sand. So yeah, okay guys, have a good one. See you on the next one. Aloha.